This lady from the Far East set 2 records within 5 years. One good and one not so good. Who's she and what am I talking about? Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of you who have subscribed, all 59 of you, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for dropping by once again. If you are a returning visitor and you haven't subscribed yet, why not click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you receive updates of my video uploads. That would really help me to really help push this video to more viewers. If you are here for the first time, welcome to my channel. This is the Today in History channel and my name again is Sotonye Fiesimama. Now, let's get cracking with today's important events as recorded in history. We shall roll our blind now to the year 1843, and this is the year that Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol first made its debut. I wonder, is it, what's the word now? When one says first made its debut, is that the right phrase? It made its debut, not first made its debut. Tautology, yeah, that's the word that it really comes to mind. Anyway, let's get back on track. So this is the day that the Christmas Carol made its debut. The year was 1843. A Christmas Carol was published in Britain, written by Charles Dickens. It's a novella by British writer Charles Dickens, which tells the story of miser Ebenezer Scrooge's transformation to a kinder soul following visits from the ghost of his old business partner and the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come. Interesting. The story is an immediate success and will remain one of Dickens's most beloved works. So if you haven't read the book or watched the movie, I think there's a Disney movie called The Christmas Carol. Go check it out. It's quite interesting. I haven't watched the movie, but I think I read the book as a young boy. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Perhaps I'll look for the movie and watch it as well. Okay, so again, 1843. This is the day that The Christmas Carol was published by Charles Dickens in the United Kingdom. Let's move on to the year 1906. Leonid Brezhnev was born on this day. He was president of the Soviet Union. So Brezhnev, president of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Soviet Union was also known as the USSR in those days before the constituent states, most of them broke away from the Soviet Union. Now we have just Russia. So Leonid Brezhnev, former president of the Soviet Union, was born on this day in 1906. Okay, so next important event happened in 1933, and this lady's name is Cecily Tyson. Actress Cecily Tyson is 87 years old today. She was born in New York to parents from the Caribbean Island of Nevis. In 1972, she was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in the critically acclaimed Sounder. She can be seen in several other films including Diary of a Mad Black Woman and Bustin Loose. So happy birthday, Cecily Tyson. Born in 1933. On this day, she is 87 years old today. On this day as well, the year was 1941. Let's go to 1934 first. A year later, 1934, beg your pardon, Pratibha Devisingh Patil. She is an Indian politician and served as the 12th President of India from 2007 to 2012. A member of the Indian National Congress, Patil is the only woman to have held the office. She previously served as the governor of Rajasthan from 2004 to 2007. Okay, so Pratibha Devisingh Patil, Indian politician, President of India from 2007 to 2012. So for those of you who are thinking, what about Indira Gandhi? Well, Indira Gandhi wasn't president. I think she was prime minister. So again, yeah, this says that she is the only woman to have held this office of president, and that is true. Indira Gandhi was prime minister. Pratibha Patil was president, only female president. Okay, 1941, Maurice White, born in Memphis, Tennessee, best known for founding and fronting the R&B band Earth, Wind and Fire, the group responsible for hits such as they have had many such hits such as Shining Star, beg your pardon, Fantasy, September, and Boogie Wonderland. Pardon my Freudian slip. So again, this is Maurice White, born in 1941. He died in 2016, as you can see from this picture here. He's best known for founding and fronting the R&B band Earth, Wind and Fire. Some of the hits are Shining Star, Fantasy, September, and Boogie Wonderland. Boogie Wonderland. Yeah, I remember that. Remember that from when I was a little boy. Okay, guess it's probably a Christmassy tune, Boogie Wonderland. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Let's not get sidetracked. 1944. Tim Reid. You know, when I saw this picture, I remember the face, this other face. So for those who watch a lot of American comedy, and you remember him from this is Sister. Yeah, so this is Tim Reid, who was born on this day in 1944. Tim Reid is 76 today. So he's an American actor born in Norfolk, Virginia, most well known for his role on WKRP in Cincinnati. But then, yes, I know him more for his role as the father of the two sisters. Can't remember their names now. Oh, Tia and Tamira. Yeah, so their names were Tia and Tamira. Their on-screen names. So go check it out. Go check out Sister if you haven't seen it. So Tim Reid, born on this day in 1944. He is 76 years old today. So again, that's Tim Reid, born on this day, American actor, 76 years old. In 1966, 22 years later, this is what happened. This kind of comes across as strange, but indeed, the United Nations General Assembly endorsed the Outer Space Treaty, which is an international treaty binding the parties to use outer space only for peaceful purposes. Now, you know, I talk about history repeating itself and how if we don't try to stop events from spiraling out of control based on our experiences from history or based on looking through the history books or watching historical movies, then those events are likely to repeat themselves. This is a good initiative, but you know, human beings being what we are, all it takes is for one country, one powerful country to say to hell with all that peace treaty in space and all that stuff. And then, you know, we are reduced to I don't want to use the phrase base instincts, but I can't find a better phrase to use at the moment. But all it takes is for just one mad person out there in charge of a powerful country to decide, no, I'm not going to go with this treaty, and all hell breaks loose. So it's important for nations of the world, especially the powerful nations, to have integrity. You sign a peace treaty, you keep to the peace treaty. So let's see how this unfolds. Hopefully we don't have a Star Wars episode in space one of these days. We haven't sorted out our problems down here on Earth, and we're going to space and signing peace treaties. It just, I don't know, it makes me chuckle. It makes me chuckle. There's a saying that charity begins at home. Peace begins at home as well. If the foundation is not solid, then what else will be solid? You need to build on a solid foundation before you can go into space. For lack of a better term, I don't mean going to space, literally. I mean that metaphorically. You need to have a solid foundation, and that begins with the home. Begins with the individual, of course, and then obviously the home. Yeah. But anyway, history as it happened today. United Nations General Assembly endorsed the Outer Space Treaty. And as you can see from this publication here, it says Treaty on Principles Governing the Activities of States in the Exploration and Use of Outer Space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies. Author Justin Adriel Espaldon Odoyo, UP College of Law, probably University of Pennsylvania College of Law. Okay, 1974, 8 years later, beg your pardon, 8 years later. Now, this is complete news to me. I didn't realize there was someone called Rockefeller who was a president. I've always associated the Rockefellers as a very wealthy family in America. I didn't think that they held highest office in the country, but this is Nelson Rockefeller. Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller, sworn in as the 41st Vice President. Oh, he was Vice President. I see. 41st Vice President of the United States, succeeding Gerald Ford, who had been elevated to the presidency following the resignation of Richard Nixon. So Richard Nixon resigns, Gerald Ford becomes president, and then he takes Gerald Ford's position as vice president. So this is Nelson Rockefeller. So beg your pardon, he wasn't president, he was vice president on this day in 1974, elevated to vice president in 1974 on this day. 1996, 22 years later, Ebonics. Ever heard of Ebonics? Well, this is how the word came about. Ebony plus phonics. Now, ebony is a word that's used for black people, African Americans, Africans, ebony skinned people. So, Ebonics, I'll explain what Ebonics is if you haven't heard of it before. It is essentially Black English. This was the day that the school board of Oakland, California voted to recognize Black English, which is also known as Ebonics. So from here you can see how the word was formed, ebony and phonics. I shall show you some more pictures. Some of them are funny, quite interesting. It brings a smile, should bring a smile to your face. I has a dream. That's an interesting one. A word which I know a lot of African Americans use a lot is yo for you. That was dope. That's another expression. That was dope, meaning that was absolutely fantastic, a fantastic performance. So there we go. Awareness of features of African American English. Welcome aboard. You'll be a dope addition to the company. And his response is fat. And on the door, which is reversed, there's an image there which says Pimps are us. Then underneath this cartoon, somewhere out there, someone speaking Ebonics can get a job. Interesting. Then on the right side of this picture, ax as in AX or ask as in ASK. The African American Guide to Better English. Now, this thing about this word ask quite interesting. It's not just an African American thing. It seems the Jamaicans also say the same thing. They say axe instead of ask. Nigerians as well. Where I'm from, we also say axe. Most Nigerians, they say axe instead of ask. So it's a thing. It's actual English, And the way that languages evolve is that when enough people use the so-called wrong language or wrong English or wrong pronunciation or wrong spelling, it becomes normal. So it's a democratic process, linguistics, more or less, I guess. It's a democratic process, but it tends to be hijacked by the powerful. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm not an expert in these things, but my hunch tells me that it tends to be hijacked by those in power. Would I say hijacked or maintained by those in power? And even though there are a lot fewer, but because they are the ones that most of the rest of us aspire to, the status quo more or less remains the same. Okay, I shall show you a few more pictures. Why do you speak ghetto? That's referring to Ebonics again. And then this picture, I guess, sums it up. There's a book here, Ebonics and Language Education by Clinton Crawford. And the real Ebonics debate, danger, educated black man. And then someone has spray painted Ebonics on the wall, graffiti. Okay, again, I'm explaining this because I realize not everyone watching this would have the time to look. You might be doing something else, or you might be blind, you may not be able to see this. So that's for the benefit of these groups of people. Okay, a year later, in 1997, James Cameron's Titanic, a drama about the doomed ocean liner starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, premiered. It later became one of the highest grossing movies of all time. So if you haven't seen Titanic, go check it out. The ill-fated ship that set sail from Liverpool to the United States in 1914. So this is a story of the Titanic, which premiered on this day, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, pictured here, and Kate Winslet. Last but not least, I did give you a clue. As to this, did I give you a clue? I don't think I did. I just made a statement at the beginning, and I said my riddle again, or question. This lady from the Far East set 2 records within 5 years, one good and one not so good. Who's she and what am I talking about? So the lady who set this record is this lady here. Who do you think she is? She is a president, yes. She is Park Geun-hye. She became the first female to be elected president of South Korea. So that's a record that she set, positive one. I'm sure you'd agree. So she was sworn into office the following year. However, she also became the country's first democratically elected president to be removed from office when she was impeached in 2017. So, setting 2 records. She was elected, first female president, and then first president of the country, not first female president of the country to be impeached, but first president of South Korea to be impeached. And that happened in 2017. So if you're interested in finding out why she was impeached, well, type it out on Google. I'm sure Google has the answer. But yes, this was history as it happened today. The year was 2012, and Park Geun-hye became the first female to be elected president of South Korea. Do not forget to watch out for December 21st when history will be made. Something big is going to happen. Watch out. December 21st, the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, guys, I have come to the end of today's Today in History. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were educated, you were entertained, hopefully. Do not forget to like if you like this video, share, And if you haven't subscribed yet, join my 59 other subscribers, and I will very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and I shall see you on the 20th of December for another interesting edition, hopefully, of Today in History. My name again is Sotonia Fiesimama, signing out. Stay safe. Bye-bye.